What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MUT 19 gameplay video. Today we're going to be featuring 98 overall Terrell Owens. We got him fully powered up, and a question that I've been getting asked a lot is, what chems do you have on him? How did you get him to a 98? So I'm going to show you guys all of that. We'll have some gameplay coming up with this card. It's going to be very similar to the card reviews that I've done in the past, but we're going to switch up the format slightly, just a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at just kind of his base stats and core stats on Muthead. The big thing that I wanted to talk about in today's video is his traits. So if we go over to Muthead, and you might remember, and I don't have a screenshot of this when it first came out, but when his card first came out, the traits were terrible. Everything that you wanted to say yes said no. Everything that you wanted to say no said yes. From what I can see, it looks like it's changed a little bit, but still, the traits don't look great. So they have him as clutch is no. Covers ball, says brace for all hits. I'm going to show you exactly why that's a lie. Fights for extra yards, yes. Makes aggressive catches, yes. I would agree with that. Makes rack catches, kinda. Makes possession catches, yes. It says no, but I would say yes. Drops open passes is yes. T.O. did have a problem is catching the football in his career. I think he somewhere every year was like in the top 10 of dropping passes. I may have just made that whole stat up. Don't quote me on it, but T.O. did have a problem with dropping passes, so I'm not mad at that one. Make sideline catches is no. High motor is no. And penalty is normal. So that's what it says now. It does look like it's been changed since, you know, it originally came out. But here's my card. So we got him as wide receiver number 2. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the boost, all the stats that we have on this card as we go over to our item binder and see how did he get to a 98, and then we'll show you guys some gameplay footage with the card. So chems, we have West Coast Tier 3, or I'm sorry, times 3 on him. We have West Coast Tier 6 activated, so we take full advantage of that. We have Sprinter on there, which you know helps with his speed and acceleration. And then we have the Elite Route Running Chem. I really wanted to get Deep Route Running Chem, but unfortunately, he cannot get it. His deep route running without any boost is at 89, and it has to be at least a 90 to get there. And the reason is because of the way I run my offense. I really wanted him to be my featured #1 wide receiver. I've had incredible success with Alshon Jeffrey in that position, and I thought if we can get T.O. powered up, he's going to be faster and basically a better Alshon, stat-wise at least, and I'll be able to give him the same routes, and I thought he would dominate. And unfortunately, I can't get that deep route running with him, so we had to put a lead on him and move him to wide receiver number 2, which honestly kind of hinders him in my offense. So we're going to make what we can do with him. But what you see, we got 95 speed, 95 jump, 98 catching, 99 catching traffic. I think that plays really well on the field. You guys will see 94 spec catch, 95 short route running, 95 medium route running, and then again the 91 deep route running. So if you look at all of the, if you go to the team impact, look at all the boosts that we have and what does it affect. So we have Tier 6 West Coast. I personally recommend this if you like to pass the ball. I like putting this, I pretty much have this maxed out on like from my offensive line, the majority of my offensive line, and then also my wide receivers, because it gives you plus 3 to catching, plus 3 to short route running, and then with the offensive lineman, plus 3 to pass block footwork. So that's why I'm rocking with West Coast. That plus 3 catching on him, we get him to a 98. Very good, though sometimes it feels like even 99 catching doesn't matter in this game. So there's all the chems that we have for West Coast on him. Sprinter, plus 2 speed, plus 1 acceleration. For the Eagles, we have him at a Tier 5 Eagles, which gives him another plus 1 to excel and another plus 1 to speed. So with the power up, he's 92 speed. Between Sprinter and Eagles chem, we got him to 95 speed with that plus 3. Jumping, strength, acceleration, agility, and speed all affected there. And then the next two are another reason why I have him to a 98. So this gets mighty expensive, but I'm like a mini all Eagles squad right now. About half of my team is Eagles players. So we invested in a lot of these Eagles chems, and we have balanced offense, which helps his catching. It helps his short route running. It helps his spin move, though he doesn't meet the spin move threshold. Helps his juke move, his catch in traffic. Those are mainly the ones that affect him. And then we have Eagles Tier 4 passing, and the main reason I have that activated is for Michael Vick. But this also helps your wide receivers who might have Eagles chem on them or whatever team chem you go with. Deep route running gets +2. I think +2 SPC is spectacular catch, which we have him at a 99. The rest of those really affect the quarterback, but a little bit of help there on TO, and then rush D and pass D obviously aren't going to help this card. But that's mainly what I've done to get him to a 99 overall. Those are all the stats on the back of the card. Everything is boosted up a little bit from all the chems that I have. So you guys probably want to see some action, some gameplay with this card. Let's take a look at it. So as I said in the top of the video, the one thing that really hinders this card for me right now is the fact that I could not get deep route running on him, and he's my wide receiver number 2. You're going to see his route tree is a little bit limited with all these gameplay clips. You're going to see a lot of curl routes like this one right here. He does hang on to those. If you're worried about his trait where it says drops open passes, you know, initially I thought, damn, I do remember him dropping a lot of passes, but as I went through these gameplay clips and started recording stuff for this video and editing this video, I noticed he was hanging on to a lot of tough throws. So we got a lot of curl routes, a lot of streaks, a lot of drags, and for the most part, he was, you know, he was catching them. He wasn't really dropping him. The one thing that I don't like about this card is that after the catch, he feels pretty sluggish, even with 95 speed, but the 99 catching traffic right there in the end zone definitely comes into play. We're going to playmaker him up the field. This was one of the more, I guess, frustrating drops. I thought maybe he'd hang on to it. He did get popped. And then we try a deep post in the back of the end zone. He laid out but couldn't hang on to it there. We try the same type of route closer to the end zone, and he hangs on to that one. Look at it, slow motion, lays out, brings it in. He catches that pass. He does make a lot of spectacular catches, and if you high point it to him in the red zone, he seems to come down with it more often than not. After the drags, I was getting in to say that he's just not really good after the catch. Not in a bad way, but he just, no spin move, doesn't meet the spin move threshold, obviously. So that kind of stinks. It's hard to make people miss, and it also doesn't feel like he has 95 speed at times. It doesn't feel like he can even run past people, but he does bring in that curl route a lot. Run blocking, pretty decent. He's going to free up some space here for Ricky Williams to do his thing on that run play, but again, I don't run the ball a ton. Didn't really notice him really pancaking anybody, unfortunately. Another nice spectacular catch here in the end zone. That's where I found he was most effective. One thing that drove me nuts about this card was the fumbles. Now, this is a very small sample size, but yeah, about 8 games, and he had, I think, 5 fumbles. We're going to get 4 of them pictured here for you in this video. There is a strip fumble, and then this one was just unbelievable. I'm thinking I'm making a nice play way up the field. Shout outs to my guy Greatest, and bam, he coughs it up after what could have been about a 50-yard gain. Same game, drag play here. We try to turn upfield, try to spin move, and bam, he gets lit up again. Another fumble. So I don't know if it's just me being unlucky or if this card just stinks, but boy, the fumbles were a bit frustrating. You know, if you're going to power him up, if you're an Eagles fan, 49ers fan, Cowboy fan, if you're going to power him up, do it with training. Don't go out and buy this card. I think he's kind of a must-have for theme teams, but I wouldn't rush to go out and get him. He's not really game-changing. He's not as dominant as I hope he would be.